ask them a and little questions like, how you feel about your team, who are you most scared of in the division, and other little questions, and then like kind of try to start some trash talking or whatever, and then move on. We'll go to Wolf, and then we'll go to after that same thing, and then we'll go to Hodge, we would then after that we'll give our insight about how we did the last time, the teams or whatever, and then at the end the predictions. You made me laugh. You know who I got first. Yeah.
Okay, so and it's even though I'm talking in the app and you really should be able to hear me through the app, you can't. I have to have my mic on in the capture card.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. And I got this nice, sexy NFC West background. And, oh, what do you know? Seattle has the biggest piece on it. Could that be foreshadowing? I feel bad 'cause I'm going to be eating because I haven't had breakfast.
So you're fine. Last time I was drinking because I went back and listened to it. I was laughing. I was drinking and brushing my hair. I didn't realize how much you could hear this shit. I was like, I had a water bottle too, and I kept squirting. I went back and listened to damn. I'm making all that noise.
That's why I need to get a new headset because out of rage playing a game, it wasn't sports. Just throwing that out there. I got mad and I took my headset off and it's I tried to slam it, but then I tried to catch it at the same time. So I was like, oh shit, it's a $150 headset, and then it just hit the desk and I just kind of sat there. And it's the awkward thing, if you break something, if if you broke something that was your mom's and you know that when she gets home, she could be the smallest thing in the world, but you know it's just gonna stand out just because you broke it. That's the feeling.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
So I need to buy a new headset. Nice, $150 down the drain. But we're live now. Just throwing that out there.
It's funny too. When it's your fault, you add up all the money that I paid $50. I don't. It's it comes back to your head how much you paid for it. That was $52 right there. Why exactly. The hell did
I just? All right, so yeah, everything is good to go. We're on. I have the NFC West background. I heard you had an eventful day yesterday, Peanut.
Oh God, no what? I gotta apologize to everybody. I stood y'all up. I was supposed to look. First I went to go change a flat tire. Whatever, that's fine. And then I rolled back with her to her apartment. Well, I followed or whatever. And then she was talking, blah, blah, blah. Then she had me take her shopping, which was supposed to be, she just grabbing something real quick. She ends up shopping in the place. And then what's even worse, I didn't say what happened after that because I didn't want no judgment. So whatever. It took her forever. She took another hour. I told Sammy I'll be ready in an hour, but I'm in the damn store, as y'all know. Whatever, I sent the picture. And then after that, we went to the movies. So it was terrible. I couldn't even say I went to the movies because I felt terrible. Hitting Sammy up at my time 2 or 3, I think at 12. But yeah.
Cool. Hod said that it's cutting in and out. Don't know if it's just on my end or whole stream. It should be good. I may have to lower my mic, but I have your Discord chat as loud as it'll go. So Peanut should be easy to hear. Me, if I'm talking over him, let me know and I'll reduce it. Oh, Remy, thanks for the bits. You can't hear that. I have alerts up, so yeah, one of my viewers, one of my mods actually just donated. Cool, thanks, dude.
Hey,
hope your weekend's going well. Peanut's cutting in and out, that's what he's saying. And Jeremy said to lower my mic a little bit. Wants to hear though? not worried. I'm gonna whoop that Steeler ass in season 2 anyway. All right, so I'll let you talk. I'm gonna get my burrito out.
All right, so we playing with the format a little bit. So, like this podcast, we're gonna try to talk to some division folks. So, I hope he's still there. So, the first person we're gonna talk to and introduce is we're gonna talk to Fly Guy Rod, who is the Rams. I believe, what team was he last year, Sam?
Cardinals.
The Cardinals.
No. He was the Rams. He was the Rams last year too.
So he's the Rams again. We're gonna start off with Fly Guy. Fly Guy, you there? I see you moving. Rod, you there? Rod, don't leave us hanging now.
Well, he did say he'd be back in 5 minutes. It might only be 3.
Well, while we're waiting on Rod, oh, there you go, right there.
There he is.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
So Rod, we starting off with you. So how do you feel about your season this year, Madden?
My season in Madden, I think, is going to be pretty decent, actually. I know we got one of the worst teams in the league, but I feel like we're still good with the defense that they got.
Hold on, before we even start something, I just gotta ask, I'm gonna mute the mic so no one else can hear us. It's just between us. So, Aaron Donald, what do you want for
That's the question I get the most.
You see, I remember last year you had Donald too, and it was the funniest PMs ever. I would PM you, and you would literally get mad. And you'd be like, why do everybody fucking PM me about Donald? I said everybody but Donald. And I guess other people would PM you about Donald too. Nobody else wanted nobody but Donald. It was so funny. You'll get irritated.
It was very irritating.
I know, it's funny.
Aaron Donald. I'm not giving y'all the focus take on the game.
And it'd be like, so you want Tavon? But no, Aaron Donald. You know, I told y'all not to.
Man, that stuff used to be funny.
It would.
Everybody was close to getting just muted.
You almost did the reverse pat on you there. So what do you think about the defense overall? I know I was looking at the rating.
Since we switched to a 3-4 defense now, Aaron Donald's right in. Hopefully, can get a trade or so I can move him back to defensive tackle.
So you do want to move back to a 4-3, or you?
No. I want to stick.
Oh, you just want to stick to 3-4? Okay, just put him at nose tackle.
Yeah, and have Robert Quinn back on the line instead of playing linebacker. That's terrible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see his rating dropped too to an 81 overall at linebacker. I don't know what that's about.
Well, it'll go up when he goes back on the line.
Yeah, exactly. Right to right in.
So it made it hard to look at the teams. At first, wow, this team sucks.
It
but
did.
Then I had to
it
think
really
about
did.
the defense. Whoa.
I couldn't.
Some of these ratings will change.
Put it together. It looked, yeah. So I just couldn't focus because everything was screwed up. I'm like, is this really what they're doing?
Yeah, we went to a 3-4, and everybody was like, "Oh my goodness!"
Yeah, that's what it did. So, why did you pick the Rams? Are you happy with the decision you made?
Why did I pick the Rams? I feel like I am a good enough player to play with one of those teams. I don't need a Patriots.
Okay. Or you don't need the front runner.
I don't need a front runner team to be a contender.
Okay.
Oh, what are you trying to say?
So, what do you like about the Rams? We are Aaron Donald, right?
Clearly not. And you left.
Okay, you're liking.
You mentioned Aaron Donald, and you just pissed him off and left.
My bad, guys. Technical difficulties. Somebody call.
It's fine.
No, he asking what do you like about the Rams enough to make you pick them a second time?
Favorite team. I've been with them since we was the greatest show on turf. So
The lower tiers. That's just like me and Sam, Eagles and Bucks.
I didn't know that you're a Rams fan, so that's
me either.
That explains a lot.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen you mention that. You may have, but I just didn't see it.
We traded for Marshall Falk in 97, 98?
Yeah, greatest show on turf. That offense was amazing for Marshall, Isaac, Bruce, Toy Holt, and Kirk.
Yeah, so hopefully I can get them back to the greatest show on turf.
We should have run 6-5. Shut the fuck up.
Maybe golf got to turn into one of them. Golf got to develop for y'all.
Yeah. Man.
So Gurley, the next fall. Better? Thoughts?
Next question.
Girl, do you feel like Gurley just needs an offensive line or that's holding him back? Or how do you feel about the Gurley?
Gurley needs offensive. We need a better offensive line.
Yeah, dude. He can't get nothing started. It is terrible.
You can't run him 20 to 30 times with the offensive line we got. It's shit.
Especially last year too. Y'all had no quarterback, no receivers, no offensive line. It was just all Gurley, and he couldn't go nowhere.
Right. You can't just shoulder the weight for him. It's kind of dumb.
So who would you say in your division scares you the most?
Hodge.
Hodge was the Seahawks again.
And it's not even the team he got. It's just Hodge. Hodge is a top. No disrespect to Wolf, but Hodge is a top 5 player in this league. Hands down. Hodge has gave me 2 of the best games in LFL. When we played in the playoffs when I was the Vikings, and last year when I beat him and I was the Rams. That was 2 of the best games I've played against Hodge. And that's the only 2 games we played.
And so you beat him. So you feel confident against him?
If I can do what I did last year, and like ground and pound and burn the clock like I did and pull out a W, confidence is there. But I have to get that line together first.
Yeah, that's true. That's one of the keys for everything.
We have 1 key tackle, and he's 34. That's not going to last me nothing but a year. Andrew Whitworth is 34.
Okay, don't worry. I'll pass you my notes for scouting because I'm looking the same spot.
And who would you say is the least team you're worried about in your division?
Cardinals.
The Cardinals got a really good team. Why would you say Cardinals? They're loaded.
You're right. And the same question came up about me repeating that. And Sam, they both asked me this question, and I'm going to tell you the same reason. No disrespect to Carl. But Wolf and Hodge. Kawhi. All right, we're going to say it like that.
Kawhi.
But Wolf and Hodge. Because Wolf and Hodge are 2 good players, you know. Wolf he's a good defensive player as well as Hodge.
Yeah.
So they have great defenses. Don't get me wrong, but I see them 2 making those franchises into powerhouses again. The 49ers will be a powerhouse again. The Seahawks are already established with Hodge.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that division is really going to be a great division again. But Kyle, he just has one of the power teams in that division, and I don't see him competing with us.
So you don't feel like he's going to have the ability to use this team as a top contender?
Not at all.
All right. Well, I have a question for you.
Well, if it's
I have a question.
Anything? Okay.
Before we give him the floor. Looking at your roster, we know who your stars are. Give us a player that's not a superstar that has to have a good season for you to be successful.
It would have to be the rookie receiver. It would have to be the rookie receiver we drafted. I forgot what school he came out of, but forgot his name at the moment. But he would have to be a star. He would have to be like a Danny Amendola, Wes Welker in the slot.
Need somebody, need that security blanket for golf. I like that. Somebody to move the change for you.
Yep, because you can't just go deep with Tavon. I'm not going to just base it on speed. No, we can't just use speed. Got to use strategy. So, I have that security blanket like a tight end or a slot player where I can throw it to, pick up maybe 5 to 6 yards.
It feels good for somebody to say it's not all about speed. I'm telling you, a lot of Madden players, all they care about is speed at every position.
I hope you heard that.
It's more than speed in Madden. I don't care what nobody says. I mean, speed is important. Don't get me wrong. Of course, everybody would like to have it, but it's not. You don't necessarily need it. Like I said, it is nice to have. It's like having a girl with a big butt, but you don't need the girl with the big butt.
Actually,
Yeah, because I was gonna say I had Michael Crabtree with an 80-something speed, and he led my team in
Exactly, because he got hands. He hold on
Just
to
hold
it.
on to the
Like
ball.
it's when he takes that hit, he actually can hold on to it. Those fast guys, you throw them aside, they get hit, the ball's all out. That's one of the most frustrating things.
I'm just gonna chime in here for chat. So, True said the Rams are terrible. I don't think he was talking about you in particular, just the roster.
Yeah, he just about the roster.
The roster, and then he also said he agrees with you. Wolf is a great scheme guy, and then he said his name is fucking Kyle, but no way a guy named Kyle will actually beat anyone.
Kawhi.
I gotta ask him, like, where does the W come from? Is it like a middle name you just want it thrown in there? Is it your first name you just want the initial? Like, did you hit W by accident? We just want to know.
How silly.
And of course, he plays talking shit about, as a Brady Dick writer, he's talking shit about the Rams. Him and Hodge having a nice back and forth there. That's all. Continue.
All right.
I guess we could. Is there anything else you want to say? We'll open the floor up for you, Rod.
Besides, let's make this division great again. I can't wait to play Hodge again.
Yeah,
personally.
Not too many
I can't wait to play him again. Yeah, not too many people say that because they scared of Hodge. I'm not.
About time somebody is scared of him. I mean,
he did beat me in the division in Madden when I had the Vikings. It's kind of frustrating, but right now it's 1-1 series all time, so I could deal with that.
You'll get a lot of practice against him.
Yeah, you get to see him a lot more now.
All right, it's 2 games a year, so hey.
All right, well, best of luck to you.
Thank
you.
I'll
be watching and hope you do well.
All right, thank you, my man Fly Guy Rod, for joining us.
All right, I'm out.
All right.
Now let me see if let's see if Wolf is good now. He said that he needed a few minutes. We was talking about nicely.
True said mom spelled his name wrong. True said mom spelled his name in cursive on the birth certificate and was too embarrassed to tell people she messed up. Oh my god, True. You cracked me up, man.
Let's see. If Wolf's not ready now, we can just do hard and then Wolf will be ready. I'm trying to see if he
Hodge is lurking. I know he is.
I know Hodge is lurking.
You're always watching Hodge. You're like Wolf Jr. In chat, but not always saying stuff.
Alright, so we could bring Hodge for what the needs time. My man, we'd like to introduce. Come on, where you at, Sam?
Oh yeah.
Where you at, Sam?
Let me get my iPod since Hodge requested this. Give the people what they want.
Yeah, to give the people what they want.
Okay.
From that star up in the sky, from that mountain peak up high, hey, I made it, the world's
greatest. We'd like to introduce the Seattle Rams owner. He's back again. This is where he won 3 rings. Last year he was the Jaguars, as y'all remember. Never missed the playoffs. Matt, I would like to walk you in. Say hi to your little people that's scared of you.
Hello, everybody.
So Matt, how does it feel about having your Seattle back?
I had a lot of offers out there. Pretty decent sized offer for me to take over their franchise. And I was pretty close to signing, and I got that call from the Seattle owner, and he said, "Come home." And I was like, "All right, man, I'm coming home."
He did get him 3 rings. I don't blame him.
Yep.
A 3-peat at that.
Doesn't get better than that.
What would you say you're gonna? What would you say you're gonna miss most about the Jags you had though?
They were really, really young. Miles Jack, I'll miss him.
You gonna have Bobby. Whew, that's
I had a 99 speed running back over in Jacksonville. That was nice.
I forgot about him.
Hi, Michael Carmen, MVP.
Can't forget him.
It was a cakewalk also.
Excuse me. What do you mean by? Can you elaborate on cakewalk? We don't understand.
They lost one division game in the AFC.
In the Jags.
Over in the Jags.
So you feel like this division is going to give you more challenge?
No, I didn't say that.
So you don't feel like this division will give you a challenge?
You want to know what scares me most about this division? Is not being battle tested come playoff time.
Wow.
Oh, wow. It's going to be hard to have my team prepared for the playoffs when every game's over by halftime.
Rod Wolf, I hope you guys are hearing this.
So,
no fucks given.
When your team doesn't know what losing's like and you get to that playoff game and it's tied in the fourth quarter, how am I supposed to hype them up to go out there and win it? When all season long, I've got the third stringers in there halfway through the third quarter.
So basically, it's like it's going to be another cakewalk in this division.
I'm not blaming my division last year for me not winning a Super Bowl, but
you blaming this year. You got the 49ers. The Cardinals are pretty good, though. Look at that. They might give you a few good games.
I talked to a couple of Arizona Cardinal players, and they said that their coach just disappears halfway through the week every now and then. And so they have no idea what the game plan is come Sunday.
No, you talking about that's only on his birthday, though. I heard that when he's not birthday, he doesn't have like.
There was also a carbon monoxide leak in the Arizona practice facility.
I heard about that. But I heard they got that situation squared now. I heard that he's well in health now after he took his 6-month vacation.
We'll see about that.
Well, since we're talking about the division, I have a question, Hodge.
Yes.
Over under. I'm gonna say, we usually play about 5 seasons. Maybe hopefully we'll play more, but I'll just go with 5. So that's 10 games.
Yeah,
give me the over under at 4.5 games. How many times will you be playing Wolf right before advance?
Oh, dude, he plays right. I don't know.
They're probably 10.
I feel like half of them are going to start at 8. Or what do we advance at 10 Eastern or 11 Eastern?
Wait, I think 11. Yeah, there you go.
I feel like half of our games will start at 10:30 Eastern.
All right.
5. Earlier than that.
Just wanted a number on that. Good stuff.
So, I guess, this is a tough question to ask, being that I heard what you just said, but who would you say puts the most fear of you out of this division?
Like I said, I gave my answer about that. If I had to pick one guy, shoot, does anyone in this division even have a playoff win ever?
Well, Wolf
played in the Super Bowl, so he should.
Wolf played in the Super Bowl against Ghost.
Wolf, then, just because he's kind of had success before, while very limited.
So you're telling me the 49ers scare you?
No, they don't scare me at all, but if I have to pick someone, he's the best player in the league. Basically, he would... Like me, I'm SEC West, and Wolf would be like Pac-12.
So...
SEC West, you mean just Bama, not SEC West, because Bama's really... we've had this discussion. SEC's overrated.
No, they started.
If we had guys in the NFC West here, like I'm SEC, Wolf would be Pac-12, Lyle would probably be Mountain West, and I guess my guy would maybe be not even the Big East, or not even a conference anymore. But
So, so Sam asked you over and under. I'll ask one too. So, 5 seasons. How many losses do you feel like out of the? I'm gonna go the first 3 years. You feel like the division is going to give you?
Division games?
Yeah. How many losses do you think you will have?
3 years, 2.
Oh, so 2. Okay, so you think Wolf's going to beat you twice?
No, well, I'll probably have one sim loss, like where I can't make the.
No, you play the game. How
many losses are you having?
All right, in 3 seasons, maybe one or 2.
So you think
there's always that one game where there's always that one game that Madden decides. So
that's true, actually.
Unfortunately,
that's very true. So
I'll have the game where I throw a pick 6 and then I'll fumble a kickoff, and those happen.
Don't have me started on those Madden. You know when the Madden game started.
Let me ask this: since you don't have any respect for your division, let's just talk about the NFC in general. So, since obviously you're going to win your division, you're going to be in the playoffs.
I'll be in the playoffs.
Okay. So, big picture, I know you're looking at winning Super Bowls because the fall of Hodge was on ESPN 60. I think some of us watched that over the last couple months.
I got it. Of everyone who's over the last year and a half.
Say that again?
A list of everyone who's disrespected me in the last year and a half, saying I'm an old man and I play old school and I can't handle the new dog. Like, I'm getting this team back to glory.
Make Seattle great again?
So who in the NFC and big picture, who in the NFC do you feel will give you the biggest problem getting to the Super Bowl?
Let me look at the teams here in the NFC. Let's see. Not in the NFC, but I'm not worried. Let's see here. Who is... Chezzy always plays me pretty solid, but he's got those bum-ass Giants. So.
The Giants, yeah, he has a really good team. Their defense is nice.
Their defense with their secondary, those corners.
And then he got those receivers.
The NFC North might be one of the worst divisions I've ever seen in Madden. Sammy always played me pretty tough in the South. East, Peanut, Chezzy, and Z-Flay, that's 3 of the probably top 10 players in the league right there in one division.
Yeah, they all 3 of those got Super Bowl appearances. That's going to be a really tough division.
Say whoever comes out of the East would probably be the biggest threat to...
That'd be the most battle-tested, for sure.
So, if I'm the 1 seed, the East is probably the 2, so we'd meet in Seattle in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, that's the crowd. I hope.
Crazy. Snow on the ground. It doesn't snow much in Seattle. Probably raining.
Yeah, it rains there.
Yeah, so...
Wait,
which would throw Peanut off his...
St. Louis.
I heard rumors that relocation is going to be turned off. But if it's open, I'll burn that stadium to the ground and relocate them to St. Louis.
Figured out. Okay.
So I heard from my ESPN sources, I heard that you have a lot of great players in Seattle. Make your Seattle great again. You used to them. You had them a few years ago, but I heard from my sources on ESPN that you have a lot of people on the trade block. Just Sherman, Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, Russell Wilson. Like, why are you looking to trade these guys?
When I left Seattle, they made a rap CD together, and basically, their success was not from me. It was their own doing. Those guys are expendable to me. If I didn't make their careers, I don't want them on my team.
That's true. I was going to ask that because from what I've seen, the last 2 months, even with Jacksonville, you have no problem shipping guys out, and you like to build a team of the younger guys, like the rookies in game, because like you said, all their success is on you as opposed to established success from players. And with Seattle having an older roster, I'm assuming that you're probably going to be looking to move those guys and kind of follow the same path, or I mean, what do you plan on doing building Seattle for the future?
My system is what gets the job done, not the players.
You sound like an old Eagles coach, Chip Kelly. You follow like that a lot?
Dewey McDonald will win Defensive Player of the Year within 2 seasons.
McDonald.
Dewey McDonald.
Oh,
right outside linebacker. I'll probably move him to middle linebacker and move Bobby outside.
So
only McDonald I know is Ronald.
Because you're usering him, that's why he's going to be.
And everyone keeps saying, "Oh, good luck using linebackers this year," but bullshit.
That's what I was just about to ask you. Do you feel like you're going to have no problem with that?
Okay, I'll be watching you. I'll be watching.
I'm not worried about it. And if that really is the case, I'll figure something else out. But I'm really not worried about it.
So you say you're not worried about. I seen your numbers over the year. You average from like maybe 15 picks a year with your linebacker. Give me what you think you're getting with
Dewey? At least 10, season 1. My offense sucks. I'm not a good offensive player. My offense is average. Force and turnovers.
Force and turnovers, yeah. Defensive team.
Defense always is the easiest way to win.
Yards, but I'm usually in the top 5 in least amount of points allowed. I don't see that changing.
A same question I asked Rod. So, who least worries you about this? Like the guy you feel like won't even give you a game out of the whole time you're there. Who least worries you?
Lyle? Or Kylie?
You referring to the Cardinals owner.
But yeah, him.
So I have to ask you the same thing. I asked Rod because I was looking over the rosters and Cardinals have a really good roster. Like I'm talking about, they have talent everywhere. So like, why do you feel like the Cardinals won't give you a match?
The guy controlling them.
Oh, he did fall on some hard times last year.
You could give.
I think he had 1 win and like all of Madden last year.
I mean, like you could give the NFC All Stars, and like I still want to be where team you are when you got no skills on the list.
Well, then I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Rod. Leaving out the stars and anyone that you user on defense, give me a player you're looking for to have success that will help define your team being successful this season.
Well, let me take a look here. I mean, Tyler Lockett, but maybe him. But honestly, I think that for my team to run, I think I'm going to need... I can't really pick a legit star here. I mean, Earl Thomas, but that's a scapegoat. I mean, that's a
monster.
But like I said, Dewey McDonald or Dewey, I'm looking forward to using him.
That's what I thought you was going with because you were talking about him earlier.
Lockett could be a good slot guy. He's kind of quick, good on the return game. Also, I'm kind of intrigued about Eddie Lacy because I used to have a lot of success with Marshawn Lynch and
Big Bruiser.
Eddie Lacy.
I mean, you say Big Bruiser, Sam, but last time I checked, he was like 395. So I don't know. He's a hamburger away from being out the league. That dude, man.
The problem is on offense, end zone, and if I can get near the goal line and then just give him the ball, I feel like he could.
Yeah, he'd be like, I forgot that big dude name. The Fridge. That's what he is. You just give it to him around the goal line.
Oh, you can. Done do the work down there.
Bunch of running backs. I'm not sure who's going to start because I got like I said, I got Lacy, and then I got Thomas Rawls, and I got CJ Procise or whatever. And
that's a good point. So who would you say is leading that battle right now?
Well, I don't. Right now, I'd probably go with a duel with Rawls and Lacy as a 1-2.
Okay, 1-2 punch.
Lacy in short yardage, Rawls, but then Procise used to be a receiver, so
yeah.
77 catching.
77. He has one of the top catch ratings of all running backs on the team.
Yep.
So I feel like
it's number 3 overall.
Denard Robinson. I'm really gonna miss him. He had a better pass.
Yeah.
Brock Osweiler.
Yeah, you actually keep throwing it with that bum.
I feel like Pro Size could be similar to that. He can catch, he can run. So my running back is I'm not going to have an established starter running back. It's going to be kind of
a system. Yeah, what most teams is.
That brings up another question I wanted to ask you, Hodge. Let me say this with all respect. So let me just move everything out the way. I saw you on Madden 16. You had a lot of success. So then you have Jacksonville, Blake Bortles, Cam Newton, Brock Osweiler. So now you're going back to Russell Wilson, because I said it on the first show that we did. I watched you play in some games, regular season and postseason, and it has to really bug you when you call a play, you make the right read, there's no pressure, you step into the throw, and he just misses. It's an interception, or it's like way off, and it's an incomplete when the player's wide open. So now you're going back to Russell Wilson. Is that the answer, or are you already looking to find the quarterback that you need to get you over the hump?
On the trade block, but if I keep him, he can. The deep throws, but Brock had 98 throw power or some shit,
something like that.
Russell Wilson's got like 92, maybe 93, which is still pretty solid. I don't know. I don't think I need a superstar quarterback to win. I didn't win a Super Bowl last year. But yeah, Brock. Like Brock would give me throws. He would overthrow it like wouldn't even be close, 10 yards over their head to the safety for an interception, and those were backbreakers. But
Brock
if I can find the right deal,
Brock didn't help you.
I ain't lying about that.
I don't know.
Like you said, in crucial moments, he would throw it to a safety.
I blame myself.
Because you love Brock.
He's a nice guy.
It's okay to blame
like
him.
Lovie Smith. Brock is our quarterback. That's what it sounds like. So Ghost asked, what were the problems with Cam? Because I was really surprised to see you trade for Cam and ship him off so fast. I'm like, wait, what?
I didn't see a difference between using him and I think at that point before him I was using Bortles or Blaine Gabbert or something, and I didn't see a difference, so I traded him. And I feel like I dealt Cam, and I think Cam landed me a trade, and then I turned into a trade for Youngblood, that cornerback.
Oh.
Yeah, Youngblood, the beast, a monster.
That dude was legit. He was like 6'5", 95
too.
Retarded speed. Yeah, he was tall as shit, super fast.
Yeah, but
and then also trading Cam got you Sue too, which I mean we all knew what Ndamukong was doing last game.
I don't remember the whole trade. You have to make sure he's double teamed every play. Yeah, I think trading Bortles was the worst trade I made last year.
Okay,
he was good.
He was good. You were killing with him.
Yeah, I made a lot of weird trades last year. I don't know why. You
always make weird trades, so how
you have no problem pulling the trigger. I respect that.
Yeah, not at all.
No, I don't care. I'll trade anyone.
You will. You honestly will. I like Sam said. I like that. I wish I was more like that, but I think it's because I got
the right deal. I mean, I don't want to trade him, but I would.
But you're talking about not even using him as much. I thought you were going to use him.
He's good, so I don't really have to.
Yeah, no, that's true. To make the guys weaker, better. That's true.
I want to say one other thing too, just throwing it out there, of watching some of the people around the league play. If anyone wants to know how to play quarterback, this guy and RJ are the guys to watch. Best pocket presence I've seen of people playing Madden in recent years. There's some sacks you can't escape from, but it's the way that you move the pocket around, climb the pocket to make those throws. Don't see that out of a lot of people because they panic and they'll just break the pocket and start trying to head toward the sideline. You guys play totally different and it works.
I have a So I can keep my left eye on the pocket and my right eye looking out in the field for my receivers?
Do you really?
No.
Both my eyes go to wherever my other eye is going. You actually, do you really look?
No. I still look back and forth.
Oh, I thought you just said your left eye be on the offensive line and your right eye be on the
too. I was like, man, what the hell?
I'm about to say, teach me your trick.
Well, since we brought that up, there's something that someone taught me.
That's why player for me would be, and it's just because there's so much pressure and I can't step around because there's guys coming from everywhere.
Yeah, coming free too.
Anyone else is free to chime in on this. Viewers too. So this is what I was told when I was younger. When you hike the ball, your vision should be just in front of the offensive line. Like, you're not actually looking at the receivers because you already know what they're doing and you already know what you already read the defense. You look right down the offensive line because you see the middle of the field and you see pressure. So if pressure gets in, immediately you're going to see it and you adjust. The middle field usually is where people look for first, and then as you feel the pressure's not there, then you can start looking at the routes.
I know where my safe throws are, like before every play. So, and I know where my ball. So I'm not sitting around scanning receivers trying to figure out where to throw. For the most part, I know where I'm going with it, and I know if he's covered, I got to get rid of it and dump it off somewhere.
Really? I wing it every play. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. I'm serious. I don't even know.
Offensive player. I'm average on offense. I either score an 80-yard touchdown play or I'm a 3-0. I don't have many long, sustained drives where I'll go and score a touchdown.
But you do the two other things really well, though. You're the best special team player in the league.
Or I'll force a turnover and I'll have a short field, or I'll force a turnover and get my defense will score.
But you're underestimating your offense a little bit. I like it. It's not that you're good on offense though. You're definitely not towards the bottom, man. Like you're good on offense.
Last year, the only reason I was decent is because my running back, if he got around the outside, he's gone.
Oh, when you added that dynamic, that was scary.
You have to factor so many things you have to pay attention to now.
I didn't need O-line ranked 100 overall to break the touchdown record, unlike some guys in this league.
You, Ghost, and Sean, we all running backs was terrifying.
I think so. Speed. I think he had like 95 carry, like 85 trucking.
It's funny too, cause you
Michael. I didn't even know that was a real name.
You used to go with your damn running backs too. So you had that dynamic too, throwing touchdowns with the.
I need to figure out where did Denard Robinson go to, because
I don't know. That's a good question.
It was tricky. He could throw the ball and run it. Well, Wolf knows what's up. I think the season 1 last year, Denard had like 2 80-yard touchdown runs against Wolf.
I remember the highlight.
The first one, Denard went into showboat animation and got tackled and fumbled it at a 1.
You went into showboat animation?
No, Denard did.
Yeah. By the way, he's an unsigned free agent right now.
For real?
Yep. Likely not to be signed by free agency. Trap.
I'm not gonna have a.
Thank you, Go.
Maybe Dylan was free agent draft.
You talking about free agent draft? We should be able to trade now. I'm gonna keep playing. This is the off season.
The preseason.
No, the game ain't coming out yet. This is the off season.
When the games. I hear what you guys are saying. When the game starts and everyone signs, joins the league and has their team, we start in the preseason. You can't start in the off season.
Hear me out. We got 2 administrators in here. Just talk about, at least let us make one trade. Talking to our administrator chat about one trade. The game don't come out till 2 more weeks? That'll add fire to it. At least one trade.
I would be okay with it, but there's some guys that are new and there's some guys that are always might quit, and then
it's only it may be like 4 new guys though.
And then the possibility of them making 2 trades, not liking it, and boom, already.
No, that's why I said one. I'm talking
about
not
in-season
even
trades too,
pushing
because
it.
then you look at
something to think of.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't see it changing, but
At least talk about it.
it's something we could discuss.
I don't think it's a bad. I think that'll add a little excitement. Hey, you got something to talk about instead of just having to wait till week 3.
Pat already popping a fucking boner hearing that shit.
But then we got some guys in our league that hate trading. I'm not gonna name any names though.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
some people want to.
My bad.
But not
Unless your
you.
name is RJ or TJ, those 5-minute trades.
No, I mean there's some guys that like don't.
Yeah, I know what you're
There's
saying.
like trade.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm not gonna name any names. Ryan Smith. No, I'm not. I'm done.
All right, Mr. Hodge.
Anything else?
Anything else you wanted to add, Sam?
I got nothing else.
Anything you want to say, Hodge?
I think this is going to be a fun Madden year. I think it's going to be our best one yet. And when I get another Super Bowl, I'm going to be throwing a big party and everyone's invited.
I don't think the guys that you beat gonna want to show up.
Fly you guys out to first class.
First class.
I do actually have a question. That reminds me. So we know that your biggest fan in the league is an elder statesman. And
Our biggest fan?
Yeah, Doc.
Who?
Doc.
That's your biggest fan, right?
He's sleeping right next to me.
Sleep, huh?
Sleeping, huh? So you got Doc, and then obviously we have Grandpa and Wolf. So I was kind of thinking earlier today. I mean, Wolf's getting up there in age too. If you had to make a bet, you're gonna say that Doc is gonna outlast him, right?
I think so.
So we should be good for both. We should be good all the way through Madden 18.
Judging by statistics, Wolf has a pretty high chance of diabetes. Diabetes, I guess. So I feel like my dog's going to get that.
Just have to ask Wolf. We may have to talk to BX and just make sure that wait list is prepared just in case. Well, cool. Thanks, Hodge. That's all. I'm good now.
My dog's 14. Wolf's what? 63.
Allegedly, like those players coming over from the Dominican Republic. You don't really know.
What is dog for 1 human year?
Oh shit.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, cool, man. Well, thanks for joining, Hodge.
I'll see you guys later. Good to have fun with the rest of the podcast.
Hey, I made it. The world's greatest.
That's your miniature hard Hodge.
I'm just gonna throw one other thing here because I didn't want to, inflate his ego any more than it already is. Wolf says it, and it's true. There's a lot of ways. I mean, you can get a lot of really, really speedy players on the game and play kick return, punt return. Hodge, he says what he says about offense. Whatever. He's obviously a great defensive player, but it's the special teams. His field goal range, even with the new mechanics, this dude was still making 60-yard field goals, an automatic guaranteed 3 points, while some of us were struggling to hit 50s. This man is booming 60s on the regular. That makes a big difference when you play him because once he crosses midfield, it's guaranteed points unless he turns the ball over. It makes it really difficult to play with a guy like that, especially when you're just like, I'm just trying to make sure I get points. You're already worried about throwing interceptions. You can't afford to take those sacks, especially with the way the field goal mechanics were last year.
That's a big part of the game. Like you said, it does. That honestly makes a big of a difference. That's a difference between the win and the loss.
Yep. You got to be good at 2 of the 3, and he's great at 2. So, I mean...
I was trying. I was trying to get Wolf, but he said he needed something because his daughter's. He said she's getting her computer fixed because his daughter's going off to college, but I can't get him. All right, just a second.
That's cool.
Wolf, if you're listening, where are you, baby?
Well, then
Come on, Wolf.
we'll just talk about shit.
Waiting on you, Wolf, but so we can't get Wolf right now, and I tried to contact Kawhi, but
It's his
it's
his birthday.
I had no luck.
Truth already told me. Truth told me it's his birthday today, so he's busy.
Cool. Happy birthday, Kawhi, man. I heard it was your birthday last week too, man. Living the life out there, man. Happy birthday to you again, bro. So I guess we'll get into it until Wolf will show up a little later. We can get into how we feel about some divisions, and since we're not going to have a chance to talk to Kawhi, we can. I guess we could talk about those Cardinals and how we see those Cardinals.
All right. Well, first things first. I think last podcast we said that Le'Veon Bell's the best running back in the game.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to say that there's a 1A.
David Johnson.
David Johnson is a beast.
He came onto the scene hard.
Yeah, his injury rating didn't change that much. That was the first thing I looked at. David Johnson is another one of those perfect running backs. He does everything. Good speed, 92. Obviously, he has good. He's a good receiver out the backfield. Home run threat every time. Catches 76. Carries 86. He does it all. He does it all.
That's a good. I think him, Ezekiel, Le'Veon, probably top three. David, like you said, I go with you. I think he's number two. Like he said, he came onto the scene strong last year. I didn't even really know about him. I definitely know about him now.
And that's without a good offensive line.
He got speed.
It's without a good offensive line. Unlike those other running backs. And that's not me saying I would take him over those guys. I'm just, putting it in perspective. That offensive line in Arizona is complete garbage.
Yep,
and he still puts up the numbers that he does. That has to go with saying that.
He does. Between those two, he does get the worst offensive line. He does. You can't take that away from him. Like you said, you don't know what he would do behind that Dallas line.
Oh, I'd be terrified.
And then they got Cards is a real well-rounded team. They got of course, Patrick Peterson returning again. He's a 91 lockdown corner. You can't even look to his side. He has great ball skills like a wide receiver.
Hey,
got the Hall of Famer. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You got the Hall of Famer, Larry Fitzgerald. I mean, this guy, I don't know how he's still giving you close to 100 catches, 1,000+ yards every year. This guy, I'm talking about, he's a machine.
The ultimate safety blanket.
Champ. The ultimate. I mean, I don't think he's ever dropped a pass in his career. Hit or unhit. This guy's ridiculous. Ball control. Can get the back shoulder fade. His hands are retarded.
Yeah, looking at his catches, 95. I mean, he's slow,
of
but
course.
it doesn't matter because he's a good route runner.
Yeah,
all he has to do is get just enough space. Because
he came into the league as a rookie slow.
Spectacular catches, 97. Catch in traffic, 95. All he has to do is break on the route. Once he breaks, the ball's coming out. It hits his hands, it's a catch.
Even if somebody hits him, that's huge. He hits him, he's just going to go down with the ball. She's not dropping that thing with them 95 hands. You got John Brown. We all know about him from last year as the previous owner. The guy's a burner.
Skip him. Keep talking.
John Brown's a burner. I'm not sure if he's going to have that athleticism he had like last year. But maybe. But John Brown, he's getting over the top to help out Larry clear it out from underneath.
Truth brings up a good point, too. And it's something I thought about with this team yesterday, but I'll elaborate. So Truth says that the Cardinals are stacked, and man, if you have a great corner, you don't have to do much, and the Honey Badger is silly. So this is what I thought about with the Honey Badger. So for those of you that don't know, Budda Baker was one of the top safeties to come out of the draft. And as a Buck fan, that's a big need for us, and that's something that I was hoping that they would address. They did not, but they're okay at safety. And the reason I bring that up is if you look at their second corner, it should be Bethel. Yep, it is Bethel. And he's a 72 overall. Not that I'm trying to give anyone ideas, but Honey Badger could play corner. Okay. Honey Badger could be moved to corner, and he has the ratings to play it very well. I know he's short, but it doesn't matter. He can still play it. You have some options at the safety spot because you can start Branch. I mean, you have Branch at 1. You have Bethea, and you have Buda Baker. So you have you can make some creative formations and ideas what you want to do with that secondary, and that's something that's really you don't really get to have that luxury in Madden because it's so hard to get those guys.
Yep, and corner is one of the hardest spots to find. It's rare. It's like offensive line and corner, the hardest positions in Madden to fill and even develop. Yeah. And like you said, Honey Badger. See,
don't even shoot.
The way I would use him, I think he's a perfect slot corner. But I feel like he's locking all that up in the middle. Like like you said, he's a little short, which I'm fine with putting him on the outside. He can do that too, but usually 3rd and 5, they're going to the slot guy. It's usually like, the security in the middle of the field. Either that or the tight end. Honey Badger, slot, tight end, he's locking that down. So you don't have to pay that extra attention to it. That's what Honey Badger is perfect for that. And like you said, Arizona has so much flexibility where, like you said, they had the rookie, they got Branch, and somebody else too. Like, if you wanted to play with him, Buchanan, like,
oh yeah, I forgot
he's
about
fast.
Him. Yeah.
Middle linebacker. Yep. He could play safety if you wanted to. And as we seen last year, his rating will go in the 90s. He can go there. You can use him at middle linebacker. He's super fast. He's so Arizona defense is crazy versatile.
Yeah, they're only missing one thing, and I think that is going to be something that holds them back a lot, and it's going to lead into my prediction when that time comes. Man, they're going to miss having Campbell on that line.
Oh, yeah.
They are going to miss him so much.
Run stop. Oh, yeah, you're 100% right. I forgot that he left.
But they got the back 7.
That man, he was 6'8", 6'9". He run stuffing machine. You could not run up the middle against that boy.
Definitely couldn't. Truth said that. Let's put it this way, talking about the Cardinals. Even Pat won games with the Cardinals.
Like you said, man, Cardinals make users better. They make bad users better. All right, Cardinals are loaded. And one guy I forgot to add, I'm just going to throw him in there because he was a nice Madden player last year. JJ Nelson's coming back with his 96 speed. He's only a 73, but he had that 96 speed. So we'll see how he's utilized in this Madden.
Yeah, put the pressure on the corners.
Right.
As long as that line
because of that speed. Correct.
All right. I guess we got the wolfless Niners now.
Yep, the wolfless Niners. I mean, with the Niners, I feel like I'm just going to talk about the Niners right now because I feel like Wolf is a good player. My problem is I was looking at the ratings, man.
Their best players are fullback.
I was about to get to it. When your star player is a fullback, man, they don't have one offensive lineman over 80. They have 4 players over 80 altogether, and they're like the one guy that's 90 is just not good, man. Like, when you're introducing your team to the press and to the fans, why is the fullback in the front? I don't even know. People don't. Like, 49ers got. I give it to. They do have young building pieces. Like, I like their young defensive line. They got Armstead, the first round pick from last year. They got the year before that. No, he was the year before that. The last year, the first round pick. Like, their front looking good. They got, of course, Bowman returning. Like, he's getting older. He has his injury problems, but he's still a top middle linebacker in this game. And then they got this kid I was in love with Reuben Foster. I'm telling y'all, if y'all have not seen this kid play, YouTube his highlight. This kid is a cannon. Because I know I'm an Eagles fan. For those who don't know, I wanted him so bad. I fell in love. He's fast. He can hit. He can cover. I'm talking with it. He hits. Like when he hits, it's. I wanted him so bad. I think he's a rookie of the year candidate. Like I'm saying that already. This kid can play.
Oh yeah. And also the earlier pick, Solomon Thomas.
Oh, I forgot about him. Yeah.
The trade that they raked the Bears on.
Yeah.
That is a monster. He will grow into being a dominant defensive tackle. He's a 79 right now.
Right, I forgot about
91.
him. Yep.
He'll only get better. That's the anchor of that defense right there. Suck up, just like how it used to be for Ray Lewis. Suck up those double teams and let your middle linebacker play free. That's how Wolf is going to build his defense.
And like I'd like their young defense. This offense stuff, they have the offense. Like I said, not one offensive lineman over 80. The receiver that they picked up, that they overpaid for just to pay somebody money, Pierre Garçon, he's solid. He's an 85, but
Jeremy Curley.
He's yeah. On the offensive end of the side of the ball, they're going to struggle. Like I'm looking forward to seeing Wolf game plan because he's one of the best, if not the best, game planner. And our league, he watches film. He knows what you like to do, and he knows how to stop it. He studies tendencies. He's one like when he's like the John Madden of our league, the old vet, but he watches. He's good at this game, and he watches his film. So I like to see how he works with this offense because I'm telling you, what Wolf works with his strengths too. Their star player is the fullback. I feel like we might be seeing a lot of fullback dives, and you know how people throw to that running back. I think he's going to be throwing to the fullback. I don't know why, man. Just because he's the star, I feel like he might develop an offense around this fullback.
And Truth said something to those lines. Said that he thought Wolf played slow last year. This year, I'd be surprised if there are more than 6 possessions in a whole game.
I will say this. Not to make this personal, man, but good luck for y'all who play him too. I'm not gonna. Everybody knows how I play. I play an up-tempo game, man. Wolf, he burns a hole in the ball. Like you might only see it one time a half. I can't play. That's the most frustrating thing. The kid has patience. He that might keep him in some game. That's a good point, Truth, you made there. It might be a possession where it's a 4 possession game, man. That nobody wants to play that.
Yeah, he plays everybody like they're Peyton Manning, just keep the ball away. And there is one other thing I'll say, like when you're talking about his scheming, in a lot of ways, something that we talk about later, Bill Belichick. The system that they have in New England is one of the things that I'll leave the debate of who the greatest coach is in the NFL. To me, it comes down to him and Bill Walsh, and I'm a big fan of the West Coast. But I would still give it to Belichick because he played in a salary cap era where things are equal across the board.
Yep, and it's supposed to be competitive, and he somehow reckon that they're...
But the way they play football is different. You know what you're getting with the Colts with Peyton. You know what you're getting with Dungy's defense with the Bucks. You know what you're getting, with Lovie Smith's Bears, with the Aaron Rodgers Packers, Tony Romo with the Cowboys. Like, these teams play the same. Andy Reid, their offense plays the same. Mike Marshall plays the same. You just have to stop what they do. Bill Belichick is different. This team is like a fucking...
He adjusts to everybody. The only coach I've ever seen do that. That's why I think he's the greatest. Even off the play, you said the reason why I feel that he adjusts like no other. He plays differently every fucking week, and it blows my mind.
It's hard to plan for that because they take away what you do well, and they attack
Yep.
what you don't, so they force you to adjust. And a lot of teams are just stubborn where this is how we play, beat it. And you do. Or you don't.
Cause watching every week too, like you said, just a football fan that I am, I watch everybody. I'm an Eagles fan, but I'm objective and I watch everybody. It happens every single year. Like you have a receiver. Like I'm trying to think. You have Antonio Brown comes in. Antonio gets 10 catches a game, 8 to 9, 10 catches a game. He's a guy that nobody can stop in the league. He goes in, he gets 9 catches, $175, touchdown every single week. When he plays the Packs, they take away your best guy. Antonio only gets 3 catches. It's like, and it's not as simple as that sounds because other teams try it. It's just that Belichick's mastermind, man. Like I don't know what it is. Yeah, he knows how to take away your best thing. Yeah, he makes you beat you with your weakest thing. And I think that's why Eli beat him twice because Eli kind of like has that retarded syndrome where like Eli did it by mistake. Like, oh, you want me to throw it in double coverage? Okay, I'll do it. And like it's on his call. Belichick like, what the fuck is that?
It's very true. Very, very true. And I think that's what's going to make Wolf. This is what Wolf will always be. Even with a lesser team, he's going to have to rebuild. He's going to have to kind of form the team to his liking. He does have a tight end, which I did want to throw in there. George Kittle, 87 speed, 88 acceleration. This is 72 overall. You already know what he is, though. Dumb as fuck. His awareness is 57. But I would not be surprised to say he'll look for a second tight end because Vance McDonald is not the type of tight end that Wolf likes. All he has to do is find another, and that will be the start of him trying to build that offense. But Wolf will be a factor because he schemes very well.
Schemes very well. Let's see. Let's look at those. Fly Guy, Rod, Sorry, Hodgepodge. I apologize.
You're about to say St. Louis.
Lost. I gotta get used to that. Lost. Excuse me. Angeles Rams. If y'all were tuning in earlier when we had Rod on, they're a tricky team. Like it's hard to judge them because the players are everywhere. Like I get they're switching to this 3-4. Like they have Aaron Donald at right end, which I guess if I was their team, I would go back to a 4-3. I love Donald in that middle, kind of like that Warren Sapp suit role coming up the field. But they got them at 3-4. They got Quinn at right outside linebacker. He's only at 81 overall there. They have no offensive lineman once again They have no offensive lineman over 80. Their top target is Tavon Austin, which he's a solid guy, but they don't really have that go-to guy, that number one. He's a smaller speed gadget type player where they do screens with him and reverses with him, so they don't really have that number one. Goff is still, we don't know where he is. He's still developing. So the only thing, once again, that they're relying on is that running back Gurley, and it's like he has no help. So I don't know how that's going to work. I feel like the Rams have a lot of development to do, Sam.
They do. I will say for him, I think what will help, he was really successful with Gurley last year. In some ways, a little too successful because that suspension when we played in the playoffs, it makes a big difference when you don't have to worry about Todd Gurley because all I could do is just say, well, you know what? I play zone defense, not this time. We're just going to throw the house because I don't trust that quarterback back there. When you have a running back that is that good, that is able to, and the thing about him, he's quick and fast, but he breaks a lot of tackles, and I've seen that playing him and watching him. Of course, you know, Sean's my best friend, so I watch most of Sean's games. He breaks a lot of tackles. When you have a guy that's like that, you have to bring so many people to make sure you get this guy down. That's going to open up things for other guys on the offense. The problem with them, you're right about the offensive line. That definitely has to prove, and Rod acknowledged that. You got to find another receiver. He's going to have to find one. I know we talked about the rookie, Cup, but Robert Woods, can he be that guy? The thing, like you were saying with Austin, when it's 3rd and 5 and you have to have that reception, who are you going to? Sometimes it's a good thing not to have that guy because you don't have to focus. The defense can't really
That's true.
focus and lock in on a guy. On
On
the
one
other
guy,
hand,
yeah.
on offense, someone is going to have to step up into that role. Everyone has that guy. I don't care who you are. You can say you look for people who are open all the time. It doesn't matter. When it comes to third down, you're going to call plays looking to get this player open. Who is that guy for the Rams going to be?
And I apologize. I said something earlier. They have one offensive lineman over 80. I said they didn't, but the Rams do. They have an 89 left tackle. Yeah, Whitworth. He's I believe 34, 35. So he's probably only gonna have 1 year in him. But they have one offensive lineman over 80. The left tackle Whitworth.
Yep. And they have the good defense, so we'll see what they do. But yeah, that offense is going to be, if they're not successful, it's going to be the offense.
I can't say they have a good defense this year because I got to see the 3-4 in action. Like, I don't know how that's going to play. I feel like it's weird having Donald at right in and Quinn at right outside linebacker. That's why I'm waiting to see that. I need to see that in play.
Fair enough.
Oh, that punter is 86 overall. I guess you'll be people.
That's a lot of work. Hey, punter can be a defense's best friend. If you have a good defense, nothing wrong with punting the ball. As long
it's
as
the truth. We were just talking about special teams. It's the truth. It makes it makes a big difference. And let's see. We'll talk about those hodgepodge Seahawks now. Seahawks.
I'm still mad at how Doug Baldwin is 90. Or 89, sorry. Like, that just seems weird, but go ahead.
It is weird, but he gets a lot of touchdowns, and I guess he's a good route runner. He's one of the weird players. Like, when you watch him play, you say, but then you look at his stats, and you're like, wow, he had like 14 touchdowns and 1,200 yards. How? So, yeah, he's not an exciting player, but he's productive, I'll say that. But I want to start off by talking about the Seahawks. I want y'all to hear me loud and clear. How the hell did the Seahawks drop to 27? So you know what? I'm not even getting that.
One word.
How did he get the Seahawks?
Just one word. Age. It has to be the age because they have. I think they have the most 90s on the team.
They do. They're tied with the Cowboys with 9 90s.
The age of them is, I think, what might have scared some people off. And I'm not going to call anybody out, but I think the other thing that scared people off is this. As you look at those divisions fill up, some people are going to look at which situation is best for me. You already see some people are like, not throwing shade at anybody, but you see like Ghost is in the AFC West just chilling by himself. This is a good team, but do I really want to play Ghost twice a season? Man, the NFC East is already looking tough. Do I really want to take the Redskins and go there? You know, you're looking across the league at the different things, but hey, there's no one in the NFC West. But then you still think, if I go there, there's still 3 teams left. And you're looking around the time, Burm was still going to pick, Hodge was still going to pick. It might have been, I don't want to go to that division because I know Hodge is probably going to end up going there too. Maybe that played a factor.
Yep, so I'll go to a division where I see the people and they're not that tough. But so like I said, the Seahawks and the Cowboys were tied for the most 90s in the game. Like I said, the Seahawks, one of the loaded top 5 talents in the league. Their season and their champs, and even Hodgepodge is the champ with them. When he was with them, he was a 3-time defending champ. Like he's trying to make Seattle great again. The weakness of this team is offensive line, but it's always been offensive line. Where this team has the ability to like overcome it because Russell Wilson is good. He's elusive. Like he gets away from pressure. They have, like you were talking about earlier. They have. It's hard for me to say one of the best receivers because I don't see it, but technically they have one of the best receivers because he's productive in the league. The ball with. They have borderline top 5 quarterback in Russell, proven winner. They have decent running backs. We're gonna see if Eddie Lacy can return to greatness. Ross is a pretty good receiver, so they got a nice combo there. Jimmy Graham is coming back to life. He's, I believe, a 93 a year. He's going to be a problem in the middle of the field, and so the offensive line is a problem. But I feel like they can do enough to manage. And we all know though, Seattle's a defensive team, man. They're returning Michael Bennett. They got a good defensive line, a good pass rush. Beast middle linebackers where they do both. Their linebackers, not the middle, but they're all their linebackers combined. KJ Wright and Wagner, and the young guy that Haas was talking about that he's going to use it. Their linebackers not only good against the run, because usually linebackers are good against one thing. Their linebackers are good in coverage and good against the run, so that's a big help. Guarding running backs and tight ends in the middle of the field, either in zone or in man. And then they got of course, the leader of boom back there, Sher, Earl, Cam.
Yep.
So
there would be, if I had any worry about the Seahawks, would be three things. Two for now. One, the fact that they have no, like, their defensive tackles are ass, but they benefit for being in the division that they're in because this entire division has honestly really shitty offensive lines. So it may not hurt them now in the division getting to the playoffs, but when you get to the playoffs and you play, say, a Dallas-like offensive line, how are you going to be able to get pressure when you can't get anything up the middle? All you got to do is make sure you have guys to chip on the edge and deal with Averill and Bennett. So it's a little bit different.
That's true.
Two,
they don't have interior pass.
Yeah, the second thing that I would look at with this team, who's the other corner going to be? Did Sherman eventually get traded?
Always had three guys.
Lane's not bad. I mean, he's pretty solid, but is Lane going to be that other corner? Because I don't care how good you use your safety, you can only cover so much space. That corner is going to have to be productive, whether it be knockdowns, you're just going to have to get some production out the other corner spot. I know with Sean had them, Lane played pretty well. Is he going to be able to do the same this year? Is he going to have to find another corner via the draft, free agency? Don't know. And then just looking at the Seahawks for the future, the third thing.
Yeah,
those older
a lot
guys.
of them going to progress. Regression, a lot of because they're at that age.
Yeah, so my thing with Hodge is Hodge does not, you said earlier, he has no issue pulling the trigger on trades. He's going to have to do a decent job because if he loses a lot of those trades, he's going to make it harder on himself to replace talent. He drafts well. He's always drafted well. I've seen that in the 2 years. But he really needs to turn the assets that he has now into something for the future to be competing past season 3.
Sorry to interrupt you, Sam. Finally got a hold of Wolf. Wolf just hit me up that he's available now. I'm trying to get him in here. He said that he got his situation squared away with his daughter or whatever. He should be joining any second now.
Okay.
Come on, get in here.
Oh.
Great, you keep talking before.
Dylan has some questions that he has a question he'd like for me to ask Wolf. I'm sure he'll get an eventful answer. But he says over under on amount of games played before Kawhi goes MIA. Go ahead, Peanut. The floor is yours.
See, it's hard to answer with Kawhi because he doesn't leave for a reason. So it's not like I'm playing bad. I don't feel like playing bad no more. It's just that he got a lot of birthdays. You know what I mean? And because like I'm echoing. That's him. Yeah,
that's Wolf. I still have him muted, so I have to unmute him. He just left. So when he comes back,
that's
I'll unmute him. So that's on me.
That's who's killing me. He has a lot of birthdays. He gets sick.
A Wi-Fi phone.
So he'll go in my. I'm like the first time he'll go. I mean, he's a hard, predictable guy, but he'll go in my head about let's see, we got 16 games a season, so about 8 of them. You know, it'll be his birthday, or he'll have to move out his apartment again.
I trust him. That's all I'm gonna say. I trust him.
And everybody we want to introduce my man Wolf is in the building.
What's up? What's up, man?
Woo!
I think that may be the best connection I've ever heard with you and How you doing, Wolf?
You got your situation squared away with your baby and everything.
Yeah, everything's cool, man. They just on the Apple Store right now. I had to download a new card and everything. You know how it is.
Okay, I got you.
Apple, that big baller life, right? I like it.
You forget Apple.
Yeah, they make you do everything by the book, man. You can't, ain't no shortcuts with that.
Yeah, forget an Apple.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, even though I got an Apple, they. Wolf, how do you feel about this season this year? Like, you back in the Bay, got one of your favorite teams. How you feel about the 49ers?
Truthfully, man, I'm gonna tell you guys the truth, man. It's a little bit twofold for me because it's the first time I'm actually going to pick a team that I wanted, but it's also hard because this is my favorite team, so it's like I don't want to, like I'm in charge of building something new again, and that's just a lot of pressure for me. But that's the type of pressure I wanted for this year. I don't have to worry about the Colts. I wish I had the quarterback though, but I don't have the Colts. I don't have the Chargers. I don't have the Ravens. So, man, I'm good, man. The only thing about it is I just don't have a quarterback, and again, I'm starting with no quarterback, and that's the hard part.
Yeah, that's true. It is. That's one of the most important positions on the field. Everybody, as of course, everybody knows.
Yep. That it is.
So, like you said, it's basically we know why you got him, one of your favorite teams, and you're happy to have him. So, like you feel like it's a rebuild for you this year, or do you feel like you can make the playoffs this year?
To tell you the truth, how I feel I can make the playoffs this year.
Okay, even with this team.
Period, point blank. I just feel man, look, man, I won with Nick Foles, man. But, you know what I'm saying? 6-10 my first year, man. 13-3, 14-2, 13-3 to close it out. But I won with Nick Foles, man. So, you know, I went to the playoffs with RG3. Won playoff games with RG3, man. So
that's true. You did.
All this talk, man, is like null and void, man. I'm really not, you know. I've heard everybody else. I've listened to them little bits and pieces, you know, and I'm ready for the competition, man. I like those guys, though. Those guys are good players, man. I don't have no about them. I know who I'm facing, you know. I know who I'm facing, but that's no problem for me. Because I'm the best 40-plus gamer in the world. That's just being flat blunt with it, man. You know, so I mean, I'm at home, man, playing you guys, man. I love the younger generation. If I can beat y'all, I get juice when I play y'all. Yeah. Especially when I whip on y'all. That's good, man. Please, man.
Well, you'll have.
Because I feel I'm not supposed to be here, man. And the honest truth, man, people don't know this, man. I've only been playing Madden 4 years, man. I started playing with the Colts, and I started learning how to play from watching everybody else. I didn't know how to play. I still don't know.
So I don't. Madden longer than you.
Yes, you have been. See, my kids don't like Madden. My kids like a shooting game, so I play with them.
Yeah.
So after my boys left, I picked Madden back up.
All right.
Because they didn't want to never play football.
They didn't want to take those L's to dad. That's what that is.
No, they didn't want to take those L's because that was what I was good at. I was like, let's get football. I was like, no. So we dodged football for like 10 years.
They was because I know you because you told me you play football and everything. You were telling me how you played with John Madden and everything.
Oh man, y'all funny, man. You know that those jokes I don't mind, man. It doesn't bother me, man. It doesn't bother me. Y'all really think it bothers me, but it doesn't. I love it, man.
Oh, it's
I
all
love
good.
it.
I'm the understatement. I know I am, man. It's all good. But I'm not a cool job, man. Boy, you're cold. Hey, man, you could at least say John Madden coached me. I would have took that.
See, that's a little bit too recent. That's the rated dance.
Oh, that's too.
That some people didn't even know he played. I had to go back.
Oh man, you're cold piece, man. You're cold piece, man. It's all good though. It's all good though.
Well, if you said that
It's
you
all
heard in
good.
bits and pieces, I'm sure that you must have heard what probably what most perceive as the best team in the division, team/coach, Mr. Hodge had to say earlier.
Oh man, hey bro, you know what, man? I don't have nothing bad to say about Hodge. I have nothing bad to say about him.
You're taking a humble route.
I know this for a fact though. Hodge is not as good as he used to be. And that team he had 2 years ago, that team was an all-star team, and he had the players that was in that league. We did not have a great league with players from top to bottom. So I'm impressed with the three-peat. I cannot take nothing away from him. I bow down for that. That's the shit. But at the same time, that team is not no more. And the players that we have in this league is better. He feasted on a lot of cupcakes and bums, and he know it. And now this year, you see it because he has assessed his team already. He's trying to jump ship already from the start. He already knows what he's facing. And he's trying to get rid of everybody, and he's going to find some bum, some dude that think that he's on the brink of really making it, but he really has no chance. So Hodge is going to trade him his players, and he's going to get a draft pick, and then Hodge is going to start picking up his team, his little the speed receiver with the bruising running back, and the quarterback with the neck roll and the face mask and the visor on the thing, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's all the same, man. I've already seen it. I already know what he's going to do. He's predictable as fuck. So I know what he's going to do. You know what I'm saying? And I give him credit. I give him credit for what he can do. He can beat anybody on any given day. And that's the mark of a good player, is that you can beat anybody, and he can.
Yeah.
But I already know what he's got. I already know what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? I've already constructed what he has to do. And I already see. It's just he has to find the right sucker. And hopefully this year, Goldie leaves him alone. I've already told Goldie I'm on the first thing smoking in Germany. I already know you now. Do not. That's what he's looking for. But he's gonna find somebody. I know. Don't get me wrong. Somebody's gonna say, "Oh, we want Richard Sherman. I can make him a safety. Oh, I'm on the brink. Oh, I'm in a weak division. If I get this player, I'm gonna be good." I already know what's gonna happen. It's okay. The bad thing about me is that I hope I don't fall into the trap of so many people that get their favorite team like BX did 2 years ago, not wanting to get rid of a guy or hanging on to a guy because you have a sentimental feeling about that player.
Wolf, not to cut you guys off, but Wolf, I was thinking the same thing, man, until I looked at this roster, man. You know your best player name is?
I really don't even know.
The damn quarterback.
Yes, I know. That I do know. Yeah, I do. Yeah, but he's the 90 rated guy. Yes, I do know that.
He's the 90 rated guy. But
yes, I know.
I feel like you're going to have a hard time giving up this Bowman, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Your Niners are...
No, you know what? That's the funniest thing. He's the first person who I would get rid of.
Oh, really? Oh, see,
He's first dibs. If you see the trade block, he's first dibs. No, bro, I have no disillusion of what I'm facing. I know. See, but you have to realize my Baltimore team last year was only a 78 overall.
Yeah, I know. They were lacking
So,
talent.
man, I was working chicken salad with chicken beaks and chicken feathers, man. So you know what I'm saying? I was making chicken salad.
This team, though, like me and Sam was talking about a little earlier, this team, though, I mean, like, you got defensive, like, young people you can build. Like,
Yeah, yes,
you
exactly,
got
exactly.
a lot of nice young talent. Like, especially, I love the rookie y'all got this year, Ruben Park. I'm telling you, I wanted the Eagles to draft him. I was watching his highlight. This boy can hit. I forgot you're a Bama fan too. This
Yeah,
boy
I know who I got.
hit. I'm talking about he run, he can cover, he got hands. He's a beast in the middle of the. I know you're gonna have fun with him.
Man, I can't wait, man. This is the first time I got a team where I don't have to dismantle.
Yeah,
I had to dismantle. The Colts, I got them, they were 1-15. Somebody had already dismantled them. So that was kind of cool to build them up. But the Chargers, I had to dismantle them. Too old. Ravens, I had to dismantle them.
too
So
old.
to start with, yeah, too old for real. So to take a team that got building blocks, all I gotta say is just play better, and I'm cool with that, man. But I wish I had a QB.
See,
The QB in the offensive line, man, I need a tour, man.
but y'all don't have no guys over 80 on the O line.
But the one thing that I heard Sam mention, not to, is he said, I checked as soon as he said it, I went and checked the roster of having a center with a high awareness.
Oh yeah.
His awareness is a 92.
Oh, no, I didn't check that out. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the one thing that I did like about the offensive line. I'm trying to find I'm finding very how you say I'm trying to find some sunshine in the cave of darkness. I don't have too much. I'm trying to find
that young defense, man. I'm telling you, that's a bright spot. You gonna have fun with that D.
Yeah, that's what I'm banking on. But I'm a defensive player, so that's what I'm gonna bank on anyway. But I don't, what I want to do, I couldn't do last year. I like to throw deep, but I haven't been able to throw deep for the past 2 years because the Chargers, I didn't have no deep receivers. Keenan Allen did not get deep. Then last year, my offensive line wasn't good enough to give me good pass protection. And then by the time when they got to Flacco would fumble the ball. So I haven't really been able to really implement how I want to play offense the last 2 years. So that's kind of been like cuffing me too, because I'm not 3 yards in a cloud of dust. I'm here.
Yeah. And that is, cause you were talking about your quarterback, and so it sounds like you're gonna miss Joe Flacid.
No, I'm not gonna miss him. At all, man. Those were the two sticking points. I said, I'm glad he took the Ravens. I said, but if I would have had to pick the Ravens, I said, hopefully RJ would trade for Eric Weddle again and relieve him of me. But that probably wouldn't happen this year since he had a good safety this year. But hopefully somebody would take Eric Weddle off my head, and then I would release Flacco. That would have been the first things I would have done.
You said that last man. I know you said it.
Yeah. I would have.
Day one.
Day one, I got to go. Yeah, it's over. But to pick 29th and get your favorite team, bro. I'm blessed, bro. I feel blessed. I can't even lie.
Something that I don't know if you were hearing, but something too. Me and Sam was talking about. You're one of the best game planners, like adjusting your game to like what your players are good with. So that's going to help you too, because you know what people do good, and you know how to stop that, and you know how to play to like your strengths. So we were talking about. Yeah, that's going to help you a lot.
Oh yeah, that's the best part of my game, in my opinion, to learn what you do, because my hand-eye coordination is not as fast as you guys. I already know that. I have to rely on seeing you guys and what you want to do. So I memorize what everybody does. I have a photographic memory, so I'm gonna memorize everything you do. But I can't. So I have to know, okay, here go the set. All right, first down and 10. All right, Hodge gonna run. All right, second down. All right, he's gonna do this. All right, third down is like Cheesy. I know third down and long. Cheesy is going to run that screen. He's going to run that screen. I know he is. So it's just like it's like patting yourself. And I know as I play you, I know your tendencies, and your tendencies are the hardest thing to break. It's like getting up in the morning and not taking a piss.
It is. It is.
You
one of the
can't do
hardest
that.
things. Yeah, because it's habit.
It's habit forming. So so I learn your tendencies, and I say, okay, this is what he's going to do, and he's going to run. And I'm hoping everybody to make our league better, to everybody have to adjust their game plan and not run the same, like RJ says, run the same 5 to 10 plays, because pretty much we all do. We end up finding the plays that work for us, and we'll run them. I know I have. I've ran, sometimes I've run a play and there's 6-7 times in the game. I know I have. It's what happens because you're trying to win, and the pressure to win and to come out and talk shit is big sometimes, man. Especially for me, because you can't talk shit after you got your head beat in.
Excuse me. So, out of your division, who scared you the most?
Man, I'm not scared of none of them boys.
If you have to pick one, if you had to pick one, who worries you the most?
Oh man. That's what worries me the most. And being honest, I would have to say who, if I was worried about anybody, is myself, man.
All right, that's it.
Really,
that's fine.
I'm really worried about myself, man. Because if I really play like I'm supposed to play, it's no problem.
You feel like you can beat anybody.
I feel like I can beat anybody. That's really not even a issue or a problem. I just feel like I can beat anybody.
That's fine, because that's okay, because if you were listening earlier, one of your opponents in your division, I don't say names, but he was saying that he feel like he might not lose a division game at all. This whole mad. He's saying that it's going to be a cakewalk, and he's going to basically, you guys are going to battle test him for what he needs for the playoffs. I mean, like it's your answer. You know what I mean?
Would this be the guy who has a dog that look like a possum? Would that be the dude y'all talking about?
Hey,
oh, okay. I don't know, man. You know what? Hey, man. You know what, man? That dude. You know what? He can talk, man. I gotta give it to him, man. He can say a lot of things, man. But you know what, man?
Oh, and you know what?
After last year, he really can't talk too much, man. He's trying to regain his crown because he knows this shit is in jeopardy. He knows. But I told you last year, Nutter. What did I tell you last year, Nutter? I told you it wasn't going to be like he thought it was going to be.
No, you said, you said he wasn't going to win last year, too.
By the way, just want to let you guys know, when you asked that question, Peanut, Truth said that. Truth said that Wolf's going to say himself.
Hey, bro. Truth is one of the guys that know me. He understands,
Go ahead, Wolf.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, no, I said go ahead. You can finish what you were saying.
Oh, yeah, he's one of the guys that know. Yeah, he understands. A real gamer understands, man. He knows.
So I want to flip that question because that's more of the competitive, who's scared. So make it a little light in here. So who least worries you about this division?
Yeah.
Who are you least worried about? Somebody you feel like is going to be week in, week out.
I'm gonna. You know what? This is my honest opinion. Every time I've played Kyle, from other leagues in this league, he has always given me a problem. Always. I don't know what it is about him. It takes a while for me to adjust to him for some reason. and sometimes he scores a lot of points on me, and sometimes he don't. But that may have been, he scored a lot of points on me in the other league because I think they were on all pro settings, so we had to deal with all pro settings. So I think those games that I played him, the 2 games I played him in there, he scored like 30 points on me, plus 30. So Fly Guy. I'm not really worried about Fly Guy either. I'm not really worried about Kyle. I'm not really worried about Hodge. I don't think so. But the question again is anybody, who do I least?
No, I hear your answer. I want to cut you off because I see where you're going, and I'm going to steer you in the direction that you were already going. You said Kyle gives you a nice game, so yeah, you're a little worried about him. You're a little worried about. It sounds like so. Your answer is right.
No.
Yes, it is.
No. See, but I've only played Rob one time though.
And you're not worried about it.
I'm not. No, I handcuffed him. I knew what he couldn't do and what he could do.
Your answer is right.
So that was only because I only played Rob one time. But it's not my answer is Rob. See, here we go. The new age journalism when they put words
I thought I heard the same thing too. You're not worried about Hodge. You're not worried about Kyle. So I mean, you're worried about something a little bit more since Kyle plays you tough. We know what Hodge does.
Yes.
Process of elimination.
No, see, that's like there we go. That's not
the if you whoop that ass.
That's not. But here we go. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to. And I'm very respectful before. And I want you to understand that I'm not saying Fly Guy is this or that. It's just that the game that I played him, I knew what he can do and what he couldn't do. I don't know how his Ram team is built. And when I faced his Ram team season 4 with my Ravens against his Rams. My team was built up. His team was built up. So I saw what his team could do and could not do. I don't know how Fly Guy is going to build this team because he had the same team from last year. So Fly Guy is going to make adjustments like a smart person would. So I can't say that.
So you're basically like as Sam would say in the chat, you give us that coach talk.
You're not a coach speak.
Yeah, because I can't because I don't because I'm proactive. I'm working with a team that doesn't have all my ammo. I don't have full guns loaded.
Okay.
So I know what I could do as a player, but I don't have full guns loaded. Now, when you ask me who's the least I'm worried about, it probably will be Fly Guy because I played him one time and I pretty much know what he's going to do. But in Kyle, I might not play Kyle.
You gotta play.
I might not even play Kyle. I might not even play him. He may be gone. I'm putting more money. He's the first dude that's out.
Long as it's not his birthday, he got you, baby.
Well, you know what? Here we go. Hey, birthday, Smurf Day. I understand, but I'm not. I don't know if things start not working out because after the first year, he has to replace that quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
So he has to replace Larry Fitz. He got older players too, so I don't know if he's going to be there for the long haul. That's just my personal opinion.
It's your opinion. No, that's all it is our opinions.
Yeah, it's opinion. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to come across. I'm not. I talk shit in the season. I can't really talk shit before the season because the game is not. Last year I talked shit before the season, and then Truth beat me by 3 points and kind of like dismantled my first season. You know what I'm saying? I kind of shut up after this for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So then I had to, regroup the next year and build my team. But hopefully this year will be the first year, man, that I leave. That I say I'm just gonna start Madden anew. I'm always trying to implement my old shit into my new shit. And last year it cost me, man. So hopefully this year with my Niners, I'll be good to go, man. I can't wait, man. I'm just. Yeah, I'm watching YouTube videos like a motherfucker. Yeah, I can't wait. Wait to see the ratings and everything else. I was thinking about starting the league. I was like, man, I'm gonna start me a league with all the Madden 18 ratings on the 17 and just go and play and see what I can do. And I said, nah, I'm just let me chill out, man. Just let me chill out, man.
I thought about the same, and then I came to the same conclusion you did. I just didn't feel like doing it.
Yeah, just didn't. It was just the time consumption in that project. The premise.
I would have thought that played it at all. Yeah, it's that time you got to put in, and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't have the time.
Yeah, but I'm curious to just hopefully that we don't start into maybe like 2 weeks until mine work out the kinks or something, because I just feel that my team would be better. Probably would be when the new update come out. After the first update, I think my team will be improved more so than digress. I don't really think it's too. We can't go any further down.
You can't go more farther down.
So hopefully,
hopefully your fullback might be a 95 when y'all come back.
Yeah, he might make it up to a 92, 91, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully Buckner will be a little bit better, But you know what's funny, man? Why is Solomon Thomas the same speed as Reuben Foster? Reuben Foster's an 83 speed and Solomon Thomas is an 83 speed at D tackle.
Is it really? I didn't know.
Yes.
Speed.
Yeah.
Reuben fast too.
Reuben fast, but Solomon is a beast then, because Reuben is 6 feet 228. Solomon is at 6'3", 275, 279.
I said you got the Niners. It doesn't matter when we start.
He probably right. I can't deny that, man. I know I'm capping in the sinking shit right now. I know that. It's all good, though.
I don't think we'll start.
I'm gonna smile
for sure. We just need to see that first. Like when the game comes out, we need to see. I think I don't want to speak for the other admins, but I know me personally, no game-breaking bugs. As long as there's no game-breaking bugs like the BS last year where you could, hit R2 and see, oh, there's no names, it's a run play. Nothing like that. I think we'll probably start. So the game comes out technically on Friday, but, the GOAT edition comes out on Tuesday. I feel like that next week we should be starting something like that. But we just have to see when they have the patch schedule announced too, because I'm sure EA will do that. But we'll see.
Yeah, but like I told you, I don't know if you guys read my quote. I had a friend from out of town. I used to play ball with him. But he had the demo disc. He's a software dude for EA. He had a demo disc. And I played the good demo disc he had. It wasn't too much. It was like a 5-minute game. But the thing that I noticed on that game was that the hit sticking, like, your players will get injured a lot more if you're like hit sticking or you're trying to really like crash into the guys. Your players will observe more injuries, more so than I on the simulation, more so than I saw last year.
Yeah, last year.
So you might want to. So you might want to watch. Guys might want.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Wolf. Go ahead.
Oh, I would say like so. Guys may need to watch out on using that hit stick so much.
They were saying that off-ball injuries occurred too. Now, last year no off-ball injuries occurred. I know Truth been pounding that into people. I know Truth gonna comment it, but yeah, off-ball injuries is gonna be hurtful.
And the fact that it's gonna be in the trenches too, because you look at when you build something Madden, the two things you don't ever have to worry about. You just have to have 5 starting offensive linemen and 4 starting defensive linemen. You know they're never gonna get hurt. It's so rare to see a defensive lineman hurt in a game. So now you actually have to think, maybe I might need...
And offensive linemen basically never... I believe at the Madden we played all last year, only one offensive lineman got hurt, and that is Joe Thomas. I can remember it because RJ was playing him. Yep. And he picked up a fumble and RJ hit stick him. And Joe Thomas is out for the season. But that was like the only offensive lineman that got hurt.
Yep.
That wasn't Sim. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but that wasn't Sim.
You're definitely right on that. Because he was not thrilled about that in chat. Yep, it'll definitely be different. So depth will be just as important as the talent you have as your starters.
Yeah, but I can't wait. I can't wait, man.
Can't wait.
And I can't wait to face the hillbilly and the phantom. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Can't wait. Carl is the phantom because he always
I
disappears.
know who it is. The Magic Man. Magic Man. Now I'm here, now I'm not. Now you see me, now you don't.
The fly guy is just fly guy. I got a
Fly guy.
Fly guy name.
Chill, relax.
Fly guy name too fresh for me to take that name. That's a nice name. I like Fly Guy.
But is it anything else you want? Go ahead,
I know he's listening. Your division is not even going to be last. It's going to be in the middle. Dylan, no one cares about your division. We don't care about the Lions either.
Oh, that division sucks, man. That's like a pity party. It's like Division 2 football. It's like the NFC North is playing. We're like, isn't that soccer world? Pretty much, give them the Monopoly game. The NFC North is playing.
All right, Wolfman. We're going to go ahead and let you go so we can try to wrap this thing up. But thanks for talking.
All right, do your thing, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, good luck to you this season, dude.
Oh, you too, Sam. You too, Sam. All right,
well. So, we might as well just give a quick prediction before we let this thing go.
All right. Well, I think we agree on who's in last place.
Yep, fourth. I gotta go with.
I can't trust that.
The obvious one in the chat. I'm sure y'all chiming in. I gotta go with. It's a great team. Arizona, man, like they're a great team. They got pieces everywhere. This team should finish one. Should go to the playoffs. At least should be a wild card. But I mean, I got to see something out of Kawhi. So, because like he has a lot of birthday parties and like he does a lot of partying and that partying gets him sick and all that stuff. So, hopefully he can calm down on the birthdays and show us something. But I got to go with the Cardinals for.
And I obviously have to agree. I mean, they all, like we said earlier, the offensive line isn't good really for all of these teams as a unit, but it's the fact that they don't have an offensive line and they don't really have a defensive line either. Their best rated defensive tackle is a 74, and you don't have Campbell as one of your defensive ends. You got to, at least if the offensive line is bad, you got to get pressure. Like, I feel like playing against the Cardinals, got to worry about that secondary for sure. But if you don't have to worry about the back 7 or back 8, it makes life easy, especially with the running backs that are in the conference or division. Like, they can just ground and pound, make that secondary, just take them completely out the game. So yeah, I have the Cardinals finishing last as well.
My third team, I was going back and forth, but the Rams and the 49ers to me lack talent. So my decision, I guess, was between users, and Wolf has been to a Super Bowl, so I went with the Rams at number 3. I just need them to. They got to shore up that offense, man. They're not going to be able to score. Like Gurley has too much on his plate, way too much on his plate. He's by himself out there. Goff needs to develop, and I don't like this D4, but they can prove me wrong. But I have Rams 3.
All right. Oh, this is awkward. I have the 49ers third. The team just sucks. The team is just bad. Now, 2 seasons from now, no, I think he'll be competing with Hodge step for step for a division. I think it's going to take a little bit of time. Being able to play Fly Guy a couple of times, that offensive line was terrible last year too. It's actually worse than it was this year. That's hard as that is to imagine. Gurley still got his yard. He found a way. The only thing that I have an issue with the Rams is the quarterback play. It's the only issue that I have with the Rams. But the 49ers, it's one thing to be a good user, but it's another thing to be a good user and win despite or in spite of your players being terrible. As they progress, Foster will be a beast. Thomas will definitely be a beast. I think it's just going to take a little bit of time. Not saying that he's going to, he's going to have like finish like 4-12 or something like that. But I think Fly Guy is going to beat him out for second place. They just need a little more talent in San Francisco and figure out that quarterback situation and get that second tight end.
My second team will have to be which I agree with you. You made some great points. You almost made me rethink, but I think they're going to float around the same win range. I think they're both going to be around 5-6 wins, and I have Wolf like just edging them out in the head-to-heads. I guess that's why. So if they tie, maybe 6-10, but I'll go Wolf as my number 2 seed, like you said. But it's just that they're lacking. They need talent, but their young defensive core, I feel like, will keep them in games. Well, they might not have the ability to close it, but I feel like they're going to be in games at the end. So I have to go with the 49ers too.
Okay. And then, obviously I have it flip-flop. The Rams second because their defensive line said 3-4-4-3. If he decides to switch, maybe we'll see. But how will he run his defense? But up front, Donald can completely... I've seen it. We've seen it with Sue. McCoy has done it some too. Geno Atkins, when Cincinnati was playing games, we've seen completely just stop everything. You can't run the ball. You can't even get to the edge because he's already in the backfield. You can't pass the ball because he's blowing it up. It becomes a real problem when you have a player that just completely shuts down an offense like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to help him out a lot. He'll struggle some with his passing game, I believe, while he's trying to find a receiver and see if Goff is the quarterback. But Donald, by himself, can win you some games.
No, that's true. That's a good point. He did take over games. J.J. Watt. He is. If I had to pick one defender in the league to start my franchise, it's between him, Khalil Mack, and Von Miller, and I think I would go with Aaron Donald. He's amazing.
Yep, you can find other pass rushers but a guy up the middle is so hard to find.
Up the middle.
So hard.
I mean, you would know that the best being that, you're a Bucs fan, and Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp is basically the guy who kind of almost invented the up the middle, because usually the tackles were, run stoppers and take the calls up. Warren Sapp was like, I want 10 sacks.
Yep, him and John Randall. When you have a guy like that, it's completely like you have to double team them. Then you're letting the other guys play free, or we're going to double team. Oh, we have to, chip on the defensive end on this side. Then you just start limiting options for your quarterback. That's when it gets scary.
And they say too, all quarterbacks say that the toughest pressure is up the middle, because they can't step until they throw. They can't like you were talking about. RJ has good pocket presence.
Yeah.
You can't move around because when it's straight up the middle.
Yep, a good point of that is the game you played against RJ when Cox and Graham were just blowing up that line in that game. There's nothing that he could do.
Yeah,
literally nothing that he could do.
And our number one is pretty much all got the same thing. It is. Come on, he's the world's greatest. Come on, it's hodgepodge. Come on now, we are. Seahawks are loaded. He went 3 times with them. He's never missed the playoffs. Got to get a man respect. He won a 6. He's the world's greatest. Got to go with hodgepodge. I mean, Seahawks got the offensive line problems, but they're loaded. Like I said, top 90s in the game with Dallas.
Yep. The first and third best safety overall in the game.
Mm-hmm. First and third. That's crazy.
Yep. Deep ball player in Sherman. He just has to be close. You got Jimmy Graham in the middle, who's always a threat. It's this year. He'll win in a landslide. We'll see what happens the next couple of years, but I think it's just no doubt he's going to run away with this division. This team is too loaded, and he's the best user in the division, so it's a scary mix to deal with.
And we've been going on this pod for a while, so we'll let y'all go and play it out with Hodge recommended music. He's the world's greatest.
Oh well.
Thank y'all for listening.
But throw one thing out real quick.
You want to say something, Sam?
Yeah. So I have the order of the divisions. I came up with it last night. So the next division is going to be we're going to jump back and forth between the AFC and the NFC. So the next division will be RJ and friends be the AFC East.
RJ and friends. RJ and coworkers.
Yeah. Then one after that, I'll have to talk to you because I'll do the NFC South fourth. So I'm still going to stream it, but I'll probably just have my mic muted. Of course, I'll chime in, on Tampa Bay. But outside of that, whoever you want to co-host, whether it be one person or a couple people, let me know, and we'll get that organized.
All right. Sound good.
All right, it's been fun. Go NFC West.